Fuck League of Legends. I spent way too much time playing competitive games. Way too much fucking time. To avoid defaulting back to just playing my 2201st hour of Rocket League, I decided to chill out a little. And that's why I've challenged myself to finish a new game every week of 2025. I've already picked out 52 games that can be finished in less than 15 hours. And every week, one will be chosen at random for me to play. You can watch it happen live at Flamespire_ on Twitch, or watch the recap videos at Flamespire on YouTube. And the first game will be Little Nightmares.
I don't know much about this game. All I know is that you're a little guy, and it's a bit of a horror game. And I know there's like evil grown-ups or some shit. Alright, let's fucking go. We're playing this game. Start off with a Little Nightmare. You get it? Okay, I see how it is. Toilet paper. I could probably grab this. Can I throw it? Oh. I was distracted by the toilet paper. How many games where you can actually do that? Pull away from the character like that? I think Nier Automata does something similar, which is annoying when you're playing on the harder difficulties, so you can't see shit.
Now's probably a good time to mention I work in the video game industry. I'm a technical sound designer, so I often get hung up on the things I hear.
Yeah, we got some footstep sounds.
Yeah, okay, maybe I got stun locked a couple times.
I like the door sound. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. What was that? What the hell was that? I think it's telling me to try to open the fridge. Oh, what the hell was that? Where were their shoes up there? Oh, can I climb? Oh, it's cool. The game design right there. They put the little like halfway stairs to show you that you're supposed to go up, and then you go looking for another way to go up. Then you open the fridge, and then you know there's a ladder. The audio work is. I was gonna say the audio work is spectacular in this game, but then I got audioed. It's a weird game for sure, but the sound design is crazy in this game. I didn't know how good the sound was. Like a lot of people in my office, they talk, like when I got there, they talked about Little Nightmares. Like Little Nightmares seems to be a game that most of them have played. Now I understand why. This game's got some good sound design.
As I kept playing, enjoying the tense atmosphere, I remembered that this was not an atmospheric puzzle game with amazing audio. It was in fact a horror game with amazing audio.
Oh. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. I wanted to go down there actually. Fuck me. Fuck me. I'm hungry. Giving me hunger in real life. There's a guy. Child like me. I need food, bro. Oh. Give me food. What the fuck's going on? What am I eating? Is that a lullaby in the background? I don't know why I put my ear closer to my mic to hear that. What the fuck? It's gonna close if I go in there. Oh, I can move? Okay. That's convenient. Thank you.
Now, we managed to make it out of our cage, but whoever trapped us was still roaming around somewhere.
The fuck is that? What the? Bro's got long arms. Crouch, crouch here. Oh, he's short as fuck. He's just got long arms. Was that the clicker sound? Is that a Last of Us reference?
In case it wasn't clear yet, you need to avoid making noise in order to not alert Daddy Longarms over there.
Definitely looks like Okay, he didn't hear that. Wait, he did? I think he did. I think he did. Okay. Oh, holy shit, that was close. I wasn't paying attention to that. I'm jumping. Chat, don't move. What the a gnome! This guy's been gnomed. I thought he couldn't see! What the hell? We're running? I think we're running this way. Okay. Slide. What the hell? Okay, that's what I'm doing. I have to pull out the other metal block here. They're still moving, what the hell?
The enemies in Little Nightmares are kind of scary.
That was a hilarious little ploof.
But they were not my primary cause of failure. That award goes to Gravity.
Whoa!
With the Leatherface chefs and our hunger slowly getting worse and worse to the point of eating a live rat. I noticed that hunger and consumption were recurring themes in this game, but it was in the final act of the game where it really hit me.
What the fuck? So first things that come to mind is this is some kind of critique of, like, overeating. Maybe I'm not reading that. That seems like a very surface interpretation, but to the point of neglection, right? We neglect the more important things in our life for overconsumption. I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting, but I might be reading too much into it. What the hell? Geisha's up there. Oh wait, that's the lady from the intro. From the first Nightmare. This feels very similar to Spirited Away. Like, I'm getting the same vibes, you know, the Japanese aesthetic, the fat humans that overconsume, the child that is left neglected. What the? Oh. What the? Okay, well, I should be able to outrun those guys, right? Whoa, he's crawling super fast. What the fuck? What the hell's going on? What? No! I made it! I made it! Oh, we're hungry again. Gnomes. Sending me a sausage. No, 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 no! That's fucked up. That's not what I wanted to do at all. No, the gnomes. Gnomes, what the hell? What am I? Eyes. Eyes everywhere. It's a recurring motif. And here, even the crest, the way this blanket is textured is meant to remind us of the eye's shape in the center there. At least that's my interpretation of it. I feel like I'm being watched. Ooh, run, 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 run. Bro, she gliding. Ah. That was a crazy sound effect. Oh wait, maybe she can't see herself. Maybe she's Medusa. Maybe I'm gonna Medusa her ass. Okay, okay. Spooky, spooky. Are you coming or not? We're just playing around. mirror's broken. I hope it worked because I don't think I got anything else. I'm gonna feed on her. Excuse me. The goblins, or whatever the fuck they are. Am I the bad guy now?
Little Nightmares was a great first game to play for this challenge, and after finishing this playthrough, I have many thoughts, good and bad. First of all, the sound design and ambient audio work in this game is exceptional. It remains a standout for me. The world building and themes explored were compelling, and the camera work was thoughtful and often cinematic. The tension this game manages to build is exhilarating. However, it's not a game where you have much agency. It's a linear game filled with scripted and curated experiences. There is nothing inherently wrong with that, but I do usually prefer the opposite. You never have to make any meaningful decisions, as the only decisions you do make are gameplay micro decisions that determine whether you succeed or failed at the current challenge. Failure means almost nothing, as you simply respawn right where you were. Unfortunately, failing in this game feels really bad. The mechanics are awkward and very poorly explained, so much so that it almost feels like mechanical failure isn't your fault, but stems from a lack of understanding of what you should be doing. It's a common design decision in horror games to create what is called friction in game mechanics to elevate the feeling of hopelessness of the player. Silent Hill wouldn't feel as stressful if you could fight like in Dynasty Warriors. That friction is meant to create tension, and I think it's achieved spectacularly with the awkward climbing mechanic.
I fucking hate the climbing. Run, 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 run.
It adds frictions in the moments when you're getting chased, leading to more tense encounters with enemies. But I really hate the throwing mechanic. Often when you're required to throw items to progress, it's during a puzzle segment of the game where there are no threats, and therefore no tension to build. I'm going to give developers as much credit as possible, and say that this was a decision taken to illustrate how small the character is in this tall world of scary adults. But I hate it nonetheless. I spent an absurd amount of time stuck on puzzles because I just couldn't throw something correctly, to the point where I sometimes just decided that it must not be the answer and start looking elsewhere.
Okay, I'm doing this wrong for sure. For sure I'm doing this wrong. There's something I'm doing wrong here. Either I don't understand the throwing mechanics, or I'm not even supposed to be going here and maybe this door's just been open the whole time. No? Okay.
The best part of puzzle games are figuring out the puzzles. That's why the time between figuring out the puzzle and then completing the puzzle should usually be as short as possible, so that the player can quickly move on to figuring out the next puzzle. There should be little friction during that time. Admittedly, this could just be a skill issue, but I finished the whole goddamn game and played most of the DLCs before figuring out how the throw mechanic actually works.
So I have a run button, a crouch button, a jump button, and a grab button, which also turns my jump button into a throw button. Wait, can you hold throws?
So yeah, I did also play the DLCs.
A lot of coal imagery. Coal is often associated with bad children. So does that mean that maybe these guys are bad children? Are you a bad child?
I didn't like them quite as much as the main game. They were more puzzly, and I didn't think the puzzles were Little Nightmare's strongest point. Also, there's a lot of throwing. You play a boy who's making the same journey as our Raincoat character at around the same time. They added more Spirited Away references, and there was a cool water monster, but I would argue the single most important part of the DLCs is the very end.
I become a gnome! She turns us into gnomes. Oh no. That's fucked up, game.
Now, despite all these criticisms I have for this game,
That's fucked up.
I still really liked Little Nightmares. I'm gonna be pretentious for a bit and talk about art. What art truly is has been debated for centuries, and whether video games fit into those definitions is still up for discussion in many circles. I believe it's games like Little Nightmares that solidify their legitimacy as art. I believe art, at its core, to be any form of expression that communicates ideas or emotions that can be interpreted subjectively. As someone who has constantly struggled with overeating, the ideas and emotions associated with the theme of overconsumption deeply resonated with me. But many others interpreted the game in different ways. The fear of adults through the eyes of a child, and any of the underlying themes that come with that, such as neglect, abuse, and trauma. The predatory nature of society, and how the strong consume the weak, the loss of childhood innocence when faced with survival, and even the cycle of violence. None of these interpretations are wrong. They're subjective, after all. And that, in my opinion, is what makes Little Nightmares art. Thank you guys for watching my journey through the first of 52 games this year. The second game we're going to be playing is Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Though I've already finished it by now, you can watch the VODs on my VOD channel, wait for the recap on this channel, or catch the games as I'm playing them live over on Twitch. Like and subscribe, I guess. Ciao, ciao.
You can. Face top right. What the fuck are you on about? Oh. Me. No, I didn't see that one.